Hi, and welcome back as I continue to tell my very non-linear coming out story. You know how it is, 10 minutes at a time. And today I want to address the elephant in the room. Um, I want to address coming out to my wife at the time. For me, it was one of the most difficult things to do, and I was scared shitless. So I will talk about it. Um, so I was married for 15 years before getting a divorce just 2 months ago. And I will not use this platform as a whining session. Um, my marriage had its ups, my marriage had its downs, and I was responsible for a lot of it. I think the responsibility is shared mutually, but I digress. So, coming out to my wife, how did that happen? Um, I guess it has to go back all the way back to probably 2017. Um, yeah, around 2017. Basically, that's not when I came out to her, by the way. Um, I had, as a person, accepted the fact that I was bisexual, but I hadn't told anybody whatsoever about it. I had, for the most part, kept it a secret, and I never addressed it. One of the things is that I started, dating my wife when I was in my early 20s. Um, I got married to her shortly thereafter, and I genuinely was in love with my wife. I don't think you ever stop loving anybody. You just, things happen and you move on with life, and that's where I'm at right now. But first thing I want to say is, did I marry as a cover? Did I marry as a disguise? Did I marry so people wouldn't find out about my sexuality? Absolutely not. I got married because I love my wife. Um, I love the person that she was, and we got married. We got married back in November 11th of 2006, and we were married until January 5th, 2022, a day after my birthday. But yeah. So things in my marriage, for the most part, were good. Um, we had our ups, we had our downs, but I think um, somewhere, sometime after 2009, 2010, we just weren't very compatible most of the time, and there were a lot of things that went on that that just made us uneasy. I think with each other. Um, and I'm not gonna go into great detail about everything else that happened, but to narrow it down, there are things that I don't necessarily want to talk about, but I have to talk about it for it to make sense. So right around 2017, she had an affair. Um, that psychologically destroyed me. Like I was so man, like man, and I have never been so angry in my life. I have never reacted so angrily in my life. And I mean, I did argue with her verbally, and I said things that I'm not proud of. And I'm genuinely sorry for many of the things that I said on that day when I found out about the infidelity and everything. But at the end of the day, I had decided that I wanted to work on things and I wanted to move forward with the marriage and make things work. Mentally, though, like I was mad. My ego was struck in the worst way, and it was hard for me to trust her. Um, Even though I don't think there was infidelity after that from her part, up until later. Well, I'll talk about that in some other video. But I genuinely believe that she was faithful after that. But after the affair, I couldn't trust her, and that I think for me magnified every other problem in the marriage because I just kind of like always took it back to she was unfaithful, this is going on, blah blah blah, and I was just genuinely unhappy. um And I think that in itself, and ever since that time, like our sex life really decreased to like it just wasn't happening very often at all. And I'm a very sexually active person. I enjoy intimacy, and that just wasn't working. So come 2017, I had an affair of my own. It wasn't really an affair at first. Like at first, on a first glance, I entertained talking to a male, and we had kissed, um, and done other stuff, but we hadn't been intimate. But I felt really guilty about the whole situation, and that's when I knew that I had to come clean. So I sat her down and we talked about it. I didn't set her down. We talked online. We messaged back and forth. Um, I think that in our marriage was a form of communication that probably shouldn't have been a form of communication because there are some serious things that you need to sit down and discuss face to face. But I think both for her and I, many of the time when there was something serious to talk about, we never addressed each other directly. We addressed each other indirectly through a messenger. So that's a toxic trait that I never want to go back to. But anyways, I digress. So we messaged back and forth, and I pretty much explained to her that I was had an affair, and I explained to her that the affair didn't involve sex, but that I did, you know, share a kiss with somebody and other stuff. And I mean, I didn't really have feelings, but I was definitely attracted to this person, and that it was a male. And I was very open and honest with her, and to my surprise, she was very receptive of everything that I told her. She was very accepting and very welcoming of the whole situation. But that didn't change anything, I think, as far as our marriage was concerned. Like the struggles that we were having and the things that we were going through um, continue to persist. And I continue to be unhappy. And I believe she was very unhappy too. So we had agreed to an open marriage at first. And I just think that and I'm trying to keep this video short and simple and simplified a very long story. But I just think that just a combination from the lack of trust in my part, which never got better, and just the fact that neither of us were genuinely happy and we couldn't make each other happy just kind of led to when we finally had the conversation and we agreed on the divorce. So where am I at right now with her? We're co-parenting. She is the mother of my child. That is my baby right there on the picture. Back when he was a baby, he's 13 years old now, and I will talk more about him on future videos. But we co-parent. I think we get along good. I consider her a friend. Um, I genuinely care about her, and I try to help her as far as listening to her or just talking to her and making her feel like I'm here for her because I really am. But as far as romantically, I have moved on in life and I'm very happy where I'm at right now. But it was difficult ending a 15-year marriage and moving on. And at the same time, I coming out because personally, a lot of the things that I think about is did I really have to end it? Did I really have to end the marriage? And is it because of my sexuality? And I have to be real and I have to tell myself that the two things are not codependent of each other. Um, I was at a point where I needed to move on. I believe she needed the same thing. And we got there. And I think her and I are both at better places. She seems happy. I seem happy. We parent better. We get along better. And at the end of the day, I think that's what matters. Um, and I'm accepting the fact that I had to make a choice that was extremely hard to end a 15-year marriage. But at the end of the day, we both are moving towards and progressing towards finding a real service and a real happy. So I wish her nothing but the best, and I hope that all the wishes of her heart come true, and I'm gonna keep fighting for my wishes. And that's all I have to say about that. But anyways, that's 10 minutes. Love you guys, and I'll talk to you guys next time.